Would you kindly elucidate whether your faith aligns with the Christian doctrine? How about we just give a beginning to end? How about this? The way I personally was raised, I was raised Christian and Muslim. How so? I just think it had to do with my environment. I was raised Christian and Muslim. It's not. It's very normal in Philly, bro. That's very normal in Philly to have one parent be Muslim, or family members that are Muslim and family members that are Christian. So I was raised with both. I was raised with a grandmom that read the Bible, went to church. And I was raised by uncles who was fasting during Ramadan, come and say, Salam alaikum, wa alaikum salam, subhanallah, mashallah, shukran, like, all types of shit. Peace be upon, like, I seen both. Been to masjids and stuff, so I done seen both, you know what I'm saying? So, growing up with both, I've been exposed to both in different texts and, different lessons. From beginning and end, like I said, from beginning and end, I was raised like that. Now, me as a person, how I've always been very inquisitive, which means I ask a lot of questions. My curiosity has always been one of my strongest features as a person to this day. Like, if I'm curious about something, there's no amount of fear that can stop me because I can't get rid of that itch. Curiosity to me is like an impulse, a very dangerous impulse that I just have, and I can never not get rid of. So with that curiosity that I've always had, I always would ask questions. And with that being said, whether it was a movie, I mean, literally, my grandma told a story. This is the epitome of how I am as a person. My grandma told me a story. I had seen this movie. It was like a werewolf vampire movie when I was a kid. I probably was like 7 years old. That shit gave me nightmares that night. And I woke up the next day and said, "Can we watch it again?" That's just how I am as a person, bro. Like, I'm always interested in, like, what more there is to something, with questions I can ask, like dissecting it, like on some scientist type shit. Now, with that being said, I started to also come into my intelligence, and the first thing you feel like as an intelligent person happens is that you feel like you denounce God. Like, there's almost like this conflict between you make it a conflict between science and spirituality, and that's where that goes. So you're like, you have this doubt of religion that you fear facing. So I feel like I went through that phase before, where it's like this, like, I kind of feel like I don't believe in God, but I'm too afraid to not believe in God. Y'all know that space chat is like, you don't want to just not believe in God, but you kind of know the God that you believe in right now just doesn't work for you. The God that you've been introduced to just doesn't work for you. It doesn't fit. Something's wrong about it. Now, you might not ever say it out loud. You might not ever just fully accept it yet, but you know something's wrong. And if you're being honest with yourself, it feels wrong. And you just, whatever you do about that, however long you stay in denial, however long you tread on that thin ice, is up to you. Some people just go even more and more delusional. Some people go the opposite way. Some people just go straight off of the cliff and say, I'm atheist. And some people go the other way, chat, where they just become the most religious person ever. And they just become, like, extreme. Like, I've seen that. For me, I can only speak for me personally. For me, I thought about it more, and I kind of was still on that thin line. Like, I don't believe in God. I do, but something's wrong, something's off. I didn't know where I stood on it, right? But like I said, I could never not deal with my curiosity. So then I started to learn about a lot of different other religions. Like I said, I had been exposed to Islam and Christianity at a very young age, so I knew about those two. Then I started looking at Buddhism, Judaism, Taoism. There's a whole lot of different religions out here, Chad, different meanings of putting on life in the world and things like that. But at the same time, like I said, when I started to come into my intelligence, or knowing I'm smart, I think, and I started getting into math and science and started learning about things like nutrition. Like I said, the immature thing is that science and spirituality are like opposites. When in reality, where I am now is I believe they can go hand in hand and benefit each other. Because then you look at physicists and neuroscience and things like that, and nutrition and things like that, and there's a good space where I believe we have a soul. I believe we have a soul. I believe there's a separation between mind, body, and soul. And my way of conceptualizing it is, it's like our body is like a flesh suit. It's a temporary gift we have from the universe, from the world. To me, it just makes the most sense to refer as the higher power as the universe, because we are a part of the universe. Our planet that we live on, that we feed from, that we survive on, was created by the universe, and we are a part of it. We are as much a part of the universe as the stars you look up and you look and you see the sun, because the same universe that gave birth to the sun is the same universe that gave birth to Earth, which gave birth to us. So we're all a part of that shit. To me, I'm gonna get to where my beliefs, this makes the most sense to me, right? That's just my beliefs. We are a part of the universe. We are a part of the same of all this, right? I push that even further to say, when it comes to religions and things like that, where there's ideas of heaven or hell, I don't believe you need to die to experience hell. I don't believe you need to die to experience heaven. You know, I saw a quote one time, and it said that religion is for those who are afraid of hell. Spirituality is for those who have been there. And it's this idea that, like, when I transitioned from that period of like a shallow atheism or a shallow believing in God vibe to like I believe in a higher power, was when I went through my worst time in life. And I made my first ever genuine prayer. And this is a prayer that I made while crying. Poured my heart out into this prayer. And it wasn't necessarily me asking for something. It was just me having a genuine conversation with God. And from that prayer, what I prayed for, what I talked about, changed. And it happened. And me genuinely putting my heart there changed my whole life. And I didn't take a religious turn to it. I didn't say, you know what, I'm going to start going to church. I'm going to start going to the masjid. I'm going to start going here, read this book. Why? I can only speak for me personally, chat, when I say this, so nobody get offended. Again, I have Christian family members that are baptized. I have Muslim family members that took their shahada and stuff like that. So I'm not saying this to offend anybody. I'm only speaking for myself. I speak for myself when I say I don't think you need a religion to have a relationship with God. I don't think that you need a religion to have a connection with God. Again, that's just the ways that people have done it. Why do I think this? Because you can look at 5, 10 different religions, and they all refer to God, maybe with a different name. But they have the same kind of reverence, the same kind of relationship to this idea of a higher power. And when it gets to my beliefs personally, you know, just my belief is that we do have a mind, body, and soul, and that it is all connected, that our body is a temporary gift. We don't even own our bodies. If you think about it, you got to give it back when you were died and your mother gave it to you. We don't even own our bodies. It was given to us, and we will have to give it back when we die. And our soul is the only thing unique to us, that when somebody dies, their soul was what you miss. You miss who they were, how they affected you, what they were like, what their opinion and take was on things. You don't miss their physical body. Their body was just how they were able to interact with the physical realm that the world is. So we need our bodies, because this is how we interact. This is how we take stuff from a higher dimension and translate it to the third, to the dimension that we live in, the physical world. This is our bodies, how we take a thought and turn it into an emotion, to an action, and then now you can physically see it, or it makes a difference in the physical world. So I think our bodies are like suits or they're tools for us, for our souls to interact with everything around us that we are in this world. Now, I also believe that there's a rhyme and reason to this madness out here. Like, because you think about it, chat, we exist. We do exist. We acknowledge that. But like, how? I don't just take things at face value. I don't mean how as in God created us. I don't mean that how, but I mean like how as in like, we're here, we exist, and we're going along choosing to make the world what we choose to make it. And people can be anything. People can be nasty, disgusting, evil, chaotic, and people can be balanced, helpful, loving, caring, you know, and enlighten others. So I think that's the ultimate gift of our soul in the universe, is to choose to be what we are and can be. In the same universe, you have fucking black holes that absorb light and destroy things. And then you also have the birth of planets and the birth of stars. So in the same universe, chaos can also create order. Chaos can create life. Destruction can create through the destroying of something. You can create something else. So I think that's like the double-sided coin of just what it is to be alive. That's why ultimately, and this goes back to religion, chat. When I've read how specifically what comes to my mind, Islam has described Allah or God, all-knowing, all-powerful, and Islam can kind of describe God as all-knowing and then accepting at the same time. Like, all-powerful, right? The judge of all judges, right? But then also be accepting. And you think about it, how does that make sense? To me, that makes sense because when you know a person's condition, when you know a person's situation, or when you know a person's circumstance, that makes you judge them the least. Because it's hard to understand somebody and judge them at the same time. Because you see why they did it. You see what happened when they did it, what they were dealing with and what they were thinking. Even if you can't do it to the letter because you're not in their shoes, right? But it's hard to understand someone and then not judge them at the same time or have mercy on judging them. So to me, I like that. I like that explanation, right? You can say Islam is fake. You can say I'm gonna die for Islam. Listen, y'all can put your beliefs on here whatever way you want, right? When I read religions, I like to read them because I like to see how they refer to a higher power. I like the stories and lessons they teach out and explain. Now, y'all can fight for whatever they all fight for and whatever stance you take. I wouldn't say don't do it. I wouldn't say do it. It's none of my business. I'm living my life the way I want to, right? So listen, I'm just telling y'all my thoughts on these things. And to me, I also like what I can deal with and handle that's real. And to me, it is fascinating how ideas and thoughts can just come to us out of nowhere, and one thing can just lead to another, and then that affects a bunch of different people. So I think we should take responsibility for that. And I don't like how people try to use spirituality or religion to denounce their accountability or denounce their free will. Like, oh, I didn't have a choice because this was meant. That has been weaponized many times throughout the history of human beings. Many leaders have said, I'm a leader because of what's called what is it? It's divine. What is it? What is it called, chat? Divine blank. Divine blank. It's a word. Divine right. Is it just divine right? I was going to say divine right. Divine intervention would no. I don't think it's intervention. I don't think it's intervention. Let's just go with divine right. I don't think it's intervention. It's divine. It has to be divine right. Okay, people. This the thing that human beings can do to each other, chat. If you think about it. What we can do to each other as human beings is one person can make a group of people believe something and then influence their behavior based on that belief. And whether you like it or not, religion has been one of those tools. Respectfully. Many things have been tools like that. Cults. People use it financially. You should buy this based on this belief. And people flock to go buy that thing. So beliefs, let's just paint it on beliefs, right? Beliefs have been used and conquered many times for control. Hell yeah, look at what Hitler accomplished. Also, that's why people are attacking anti-Semitism so much. I know y'all kind of like, it's like the new cool thing to say Jews this and Jews that. This is the same rhetoric which Hitler made his whole fucking journey on top of. This same rhetoric. That's why they are trying to attack it so much. So I know y'all go crazy when Kanye says this, and I know technically he's not wrong because that leader or that CEO of this might be a Jewish person. But y'all are trying to use a group of people like us, like probably a amount of Jews we can count and we could fit in one room to go against a whole, group of people, whole, ethnic group of people, right? Now listen, that's a belief that can be weaponized and used to influence the masses of people. To say that one person is good or bad based on a title. When guess what? They could have been born into that title a title which was given to them by another human being, a title which does not decide their fate. That's my belief. And when you realize that people choose their own fate, not a title, not a place, not a name, to me, that's when you evolve to see people for who they are based on who they're choosing to be, not what you think they are. I mean, it happened to Muslims in 2001. All the Islamophobia, it just, people use beliefs to influence human behavior. Now, regardless of that, chat, and this is where a lot of y'all might not like to hear this, but there are simply human beings that don't believe in none of this shit. Now we're going to get very critical, chat, and I'm going to need y'all to follow me if y'all can. There are human beings that don't believe in none of this shit. They may just believe that when we die, our body is just done. But what they also have is an insane amount of ambition, an insane amount of intelligence, an insane amount of skills. Those human beings are, I'm going to call them the most dangerous. Why? Because if I'm intelligent enough to realize that religion is powerful and that playing a character to influence people can give me power that I need, I'll play that character well enough to be used for the way I need to use it for. Because guess what? Fake it till you make it. Seeing is believing. People don't know the difference. They don't, because beliefs are more influential than facts. It's just how human nature is, right? So if I'm trying to be a powerful, influential person, I'm going to use that to my advantage, which they have many, many times before, to influence crowds of people. Even if I don't believe in it myself, that doesn't matter, because I still believe in the effect. I still believe that the effect that it has is real. And that's where it can be leveraged to the intention of the person behind it. Which puts me in my position, which is, I have not necessarily grouped into one religion or not. I have kept my vision and my lens of interpreting the world and people around me as open as possible. Haley, baby, Dojo to the moon. I was going to tap into your stream earlier today. I see you grinding, locked in, man. I hope all is doing well with you. Teron 30, I appreciate the 27 months. So listen. I agree with whatever Ty says. You funny as hell. I don't really know no Christian. There's some questions you guys have. All right, chat. We're going to wait for the ads, because I know y'all just got hit with the ads, and we're going to continue where I left off. I'm kind of just, like, literally just talking off the top of my head, bro. Just improvising and just flowing with what I want to say, bro. Martian the Dojo member, W. Haley, bro. It makes sense, man. You march into the moon to Saturn, you be leaving the solar system lens, so you know where he exists. You dig. Just read my comment and the ad came on. How long? Y'all gotta say how long the ad is so we can get right back into it. But you can perceive the notion that the scientific scrutiny of this is a way to challenge. Take that how you want to. I don't think that. Again, if you think facts, right? If you think a study or research is directly challenging your faith or your religion, it says a lot about what you think about what your religion is. Okay, bye. Thank you. All right, Haley. I'm gonna hit you up. It says a lot about what you think or believe religion is, bro. It says a lot about that. I'm not here to debate that. I'm just talking about why. I'm here to talk about why I take the stance I take, which is I learn. I try to maintain to be as open-minded as possible. Look at as many different religions as I can. Listen to as many different people as I can. Because how are you to know that your side is actually right? That your side is actually what you think it is, if you don't hear what the other side is saying and evaluate it with your own ability to judge, the ability to have discernment. I think honestly, truth seeking can make your faith stronger. Truth seeking can make your beliefs stronger. Because there ain't nothing stronger than the truth. The light exposes all. And I think this gets so muddy for people because the denial slips in when they try to like they can't even look at it for themselves. They just throw a religious they throw a religious meaning on top of it.